Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video we will be talking about session states. In the previous video I spoke about view state and I also showed you how you can implement view state in your ASP.NET project. In this video I will talk about session states and I will also show you how you can implement session state in your project. Since this video is a continuation of the previous one, I recommend you to go back and watch the previous video before moving on with this video. The link to the previous video will be given in the description so you can check it out before continuing with this one. Now if you have already watched the previous video, then let's get started with this video. Open the previous project in Visual Studio Code and then go to the design view. So you can see that we had already made the input box, the text box and a button. Now we will add some few more elements in our page. So go to the source file, add some space by hitting enter and then write enter username and password to go to the next page. Let us go back to the design view and organize our web page. Now that our web page looks much cleaner, we will add some more elements to the web page. Let us add a label and then add a text box. Now set the text of this label to username and then copy these two elements and paste it below. Now replace the username text with password. Now we need to set IDs for these two text boxes so that we can store their data in session states. But before that we need to add a button so that we implement some action when we click it. Let us name the button as go to the next page. Now we need to give ID to each element. So we'll name the username text box as username underscore text box and we will name the password text box as password underscore text box. And now we'll give an ID to the button as next page button. Now simply double click on the button to go to the code behind page. Here we will be adding the session state variables and we will be implementing all the logic behind the web page. You can see that we had implemented view state in the previous video by using the view state object. In the case of session states, it is pretty much the same. We will use the session state variable and store the values collected from the text box and specifically the username text box and the password text box, and then we'll use the same session state variable to retrieve the values in some other page. Do note that this time we will be redirecting the user to some other page and we will be retrieving values entered by the user in the new page. So create a session variable by typing the keyword session, then add square brackets and inside the double quotes write username because we will be referring to the text value present in the username text box by this username key. Now assign the value of text present in the username text box by typing username underscore text box dot text and then finally add a semicolon. Now in the next line we will write the code for storing password in the session state. So again follow the same method, write session and then add a square bracket. In the square bracket give it a name. For example, in this case I have written password and assign it the value of password text box dot text and don't forget to add a semicolon at the end. Once we have created the session state variables, we will create a new page by adding a new item and we will choose the web forms option. In this new page we will retrieve the values which we had stored in the session state and using the session variable we will be retrieving the username and password in the new page. Now in this web page I will add a label where I will be showing the value of username and password. Therefore, let us add labels to this web page. To keep things simple, I'm just replacing the value of text by the text logged in. So whenever we will land on this page, the text will be shown as logged in. Now let us go back to the code behind file of our previous web form and add a redirect response that will redirect our page to the newly created web form page. So you have to write response.redirect and then you need to pass the name of web page which you just created. And in our case, the new web page name is webform2.aspx. Again, don't forget to add a semicolon, otherwise it will lead to unwanted errors. Now let us go back to the webform1 page, right click and select view in browser. We can see that the project is live. So let us test if the web application is working correctly or not, and let us see if it can redirect us to the new page. Till now we did not implement any method to retrieve the session state values, and we will be adding it now in our code. So let us jump back to the code file and continue with the coding. Navigate to the code behind file of the newly created webform2 page, and its name will be webform2.aspx.cs. Now in this page, you need to note the page load function. We will be working in this function. Here, we will be retrieving the session state values and we will be displaying it when the page loads. To do this, you need to first of all select label element which we had created, and the ID of the label element is label1. So I will write label1, then I'll write dot text and set the text equal to the value of session state variable which holds the value of username. Now see, there are two methods to retrieve the values of session state. You can either use the index value to access the first element, or you can specify the key which you had used to save the variable. In our case, the key was username. Now if you write username in double quotes instead of this 0, then also the answer will be the same. So you can try changing the value of 0 to username, or you can just follow along with me. After the username, we also need to display the password. So we will add a line break and then append the password string, and also attach, or you can say append, the session state value of password. You can access the password's session state value with the index number 1, or you can also use the password key to access the password. Now we will go back to the webform1 page and then right click it and view in browser. We will be testing the application now. So enter some username and enter some password, let's say 123456. Click on go to the next page. You can see that the username and password are being displayed now, although it is not on different lines because I have used wrong syntax. The / should be after BR instead of before BR. So let me just fix it and we will run this again and check for the output. But before running again, I will also change the value of this index and use the key value which I had used to store the username. And the key value was username, and for the password it was simply password. I'm doing this just for the sake of understanding. Now go back to the webform1 page, right click and choose view in browser. Enter some username and enter a password and click on go to next page. And there you go. You see, we have got the output of username and password on a different page. And finally, we have implemented session state in our project. Now if you enjoyed the video, then please give this video a like, or if this video helped you at all, then please like this video, and if you want more such contents, then subscribe to my channel. The next part of this video will be coming soon, and in the next part I will be showing how you can implement application states in your ASP.NET web projects. So that's it for this video guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.